On March 30th, 2025, at around 4:30 a.m., a chilling 911 call about a domestic disturbance led police to an apartment in the 5900 block of Ronmar Drive in Alexandria, Louisiana. What they found inside was heartbreaking. Two lifeless bodies. A 38-year-old woman named Shaterica Smith and her 42-year-old husband, Tracy Johnson. The couple, who had recently celebrated what seemed like a dream wedding, was now at the center of a tragedy. Police believe both died from gunshot wounds, with Tracy's appearing self-inflicted. To the outside world, Shaterica and Tracy were the perfect couple, their love story the envy of their small town. But behind closed doors, their fairy tale was a nightmare that ended in the worst way possible. This is the devastating story of Shaterica Danielle Smith, a vibrant woman whose light was extinguished far too soon. Before we proceed, take a moment to like and subscribe to be part of our growing community. Shaterica was born on November 9, 1986, in Alexandria, Louisiana. While her father's story remains largely unknown, Shaterica was incredibly close to her mother, Tracy Smith, who shaped her into the remarkable woman she became. To everyone who knew her, Shaterica was a burst of sunshine. Her warm smile and infectious energy could brighten even the gloomiest room. She had a knack for making people feel loved and valued, and her passion for life was impossible to ignore. Growing up, Shaterica was a star at Peabody Magnet High School. She dove into extracurricular activities from dance to school events, always leaving a mark with her lively spirit. She graduated with honors in 2005, earning the admiration of her classmates and teachers. Her magnetic personality didn't fade after high school, it only grew stronger. Shaterica was the kind of person who could turn any gathering into a party. She loved to dance, and her moves were so captivating that people couldn't help but join in. Friends said she could party like there was no tomorrow, her laughter echoing long after the music stopped. But Shaterica was more than just the life of the party. She had a flair for fashion that turned heads wherever she went. Her bold outfits, shared proudly on social media, showed off her confidence and unique style. Whether it was a vibrant dress or a perfectly coordinated accessory, Shaterica knew how to make a statement. Her friends and family loved scrolling through her posts, inspired by her creativity and fearless sense of self. What truly set Shaterica apart, though, was her heart. She had a rare kind of compassion, always ready to lend a hand or offer a kind word. She loved deeply and without hesitation, making everyone around her feel seen and cared for. Her generosity knew no bounds, and her love touched countless lives. It was this warmth and openness that drew people to her, and it's what made her so unforgettable. So, when Shaterica met a man, let's call him Andrew, it seemed like the perfect match. To those around them, their relationship looked like something out of a romance novel. They were the couple everyone talked about, their public displays of affection painting a picture of a love that could conquer anything. Friends envied their bond, and their wedding was a kind of event people gushed over for weeks. Shaterica, radiant in her gown, and Andrew, beaming by her side, seemed to have it all. But appearances can be deceiving. Behind the smiles and the picture-perfect moments, something darker was brewing. The man Shaterica had vowed to spend her life with, the one she proudly called her partner, was not who he seemed. Their love story, so flawless on the outside, was unraveling in ways no one could have imagined. What started as a fairy tale turned into a tragedy that would shock their community and leave those who loved Shaterica grappling with grief and disbelief. As the police pieced together the events of that fateful morning, the truth began to emerge. The domestic disturbance call wasn't just a momentary argument, it was the final chapter in a story of hidden pain. Shaterica, the woman who brought joy to everyone she met, was gone, and the man she had trusted with her heart was the one who took her life. This wasn't the ending anyone expected for Shaterica Danielle Smith. She was a daughter, a friend, a beacon of light in a world that desperately needed it. Her story is a reminder that even the brightest smiles can hide the deepest wounds, and that love, when twisted, can lead to unimaginable loss. As her community mourns, they hold on to the memories of a woman who danced through life, loved without limits, and left an indelible mark on their hearts. From the moment Shaterica and Andrew met, sparks flew. They were young, full of life, and shared a love for the same things: music, dancing, and just soaking up each other's company. Not much is known about Andrew, but one thing was clear: they fell hard and fast. They were inseparable, spending every spare moment together, laughing and building a bond that felt unstoppable. Before long, their whirlwind romance took a big turn. Shaterica found out she was pregnant. The news hit them like a wave of joy. Both Shaterica and Andrew were thrilled, ready to dive into parenthood and start this new adventure as a team. Even though the pregnancy was unexpected, they embraced it with open hearts. Their families rallied around them, excited to see the young couple so in love and preparing for their baby. Shaterica, especially, was glowing with happiness, dreaming of the future she'd build with Andrew by her side. A few months later, their daughter, Kinsley, arrived, and Shaterica's world changed forever. Kinsley became her everything. Shaterica's social media was soon filled with adorable photos and videos. Kinsley's first smile, her tiny giggles, and every little milestone that made Shaterica's heart burst with pride. Motherhood looked so natural on her, and she poured every ounce of love into her little girl. But the joy didn't stop there. Not long after, Shaterica and Andrew welcomed a baby boy, and their home grew even fuller with love and laughter. Shaterica was a natural mom, creating a warm, happy home for her kids. Her nurturing spirit shone through in every bedtime story, every hug, and every moment she spent making sure her children felt loved. But as beautiful as their family was, things weren't as perfect as they seemed. The pressures of raising two young kids started to weigh on Shaterica and Andrew. New responsibilities piled up, and the spark that once defined their relationship began to fade. Arguments crept in, and the tension between them grew. Despite their love for their kids, their romance couldn't hold up under the strain, and eventually they went their separate ways. They seemed together. Tracy wasn't just a boyfriend. He was Shaterica's biggest cheerleader, always hyping up her dreams and celebrating her every step of the way. One Mother's Day, Tracy went all out, surprising Shaterica with a family gathering that left her speechless. It wasn't just about the two of them, though. What made their relationship so special was how Tracy embraced Shaterica's kids. He stepped into their lives with care, building a bond with Kinsley and her brother that felt natural and strong. Shaterica's family adored Tracy, thrilled to see her so happy with a man who seemed to cherish her completely. To everyone watching, Shaterica and Tracy were living a love story for the ages, full of laughter, adventure, and plans for a future together. But even the most beautiful love stories can hide cracks beneath the surface. As Shaterica and Tracy built their life together, no one could have predicted that Shaterica was thriving in her relationship with Tracy, soaking up the love and attention he gave her. For the first time in a long while, she felt like she'd found someone who truly got her, someone who cheered on her dreams and supported her unstoppable drive. Their future looked so bright, filled with love and endless possibilities. So when Tracy got down on one knee after a few years of dating, it felt like the perfect next step. Shaterica said yes without hesitation, her heart racing with excitement. Their wedding day was everything she'd ever dreamed of, a dazzling celebration she called the best day of her life. Surrounded by family and friends, Shaterica and Tracy vowed to build a life together, and it seemed like nothing could tear them apart. Marriage brought new responsibilities, though, and Shaterica knew she had to step up. Known for her bold, outgoing personality, she decided to tone things down a bit to fit her new role as a wife. She made some changes, letting go of old habits and embracing a more mature vibe. But Shaterica never lost her spark. She still loved hitting the town, dancing the night away, and rocking outfits that screamed confidence. Her style was fearless, bright colors, daring cuts, and a flair that turned heads. Sometimes she'd wear something extra bold around Tracy, outfits that a few people raised eyebrows at, whispering that maybe they were too much for a married woman. But Shaterica brushed off the critics. To her, she was just being herself, unapologetic, vibrant, and true. And Tracy? He seemed to love it, always by her side, matching her energy and style like they were two peas in a pod. While Shaterica was living her best life, traveling, socializing, and embracing every moment, Tracy was quietly unraveling. The things he once loved about her, like her bold outfits and adventurous spirit, started to eat at him. He didn't like how she dressed when she went out, or the frequent girls' trips she took with her friends. What Shaterica saw as living freely, Tracy saw as a problem. Unknown to her, his resentment was growing. He felt insecure, like he was losing her, and those feelings were turning him into someone she didn't recognize. Shaterica, meanwhile, was leaning even more into her independence. She started going out more, hitting up parties, and taking trips that filled her soul. Her social media lit up with posts, videos of her dancing under neon lights, laughing with friends, and rocking outfits that showed off her confidence. Sometimes she'd add cryptic captions, hints of her free spirit shining through. "Living my truth," she'd write, or "Catch me shining." Her followers ate it up, loving her energy and zest for life. But every post, every trip seemed to push Tracy further over the edge. He was struggling to keep his emotions in check, and Shaterica had no idea how much he was spiraling. Tracy's behavior started to change in ways that were hard to ignore. He became moody, snapping over small things. His once charming demeanor gave way to controlling tendencies, and arguments flared up more often. Every time Shaterica came back from a trip or posted a video of herself having fun, it sparked a fight. To Tracy, it felt like she was slipping away, and he couldn't handle it. What Shaterica thought was a healthy balance, being a wife, a mom, and still herself, Tracy saw as a threat to their marriage. The tension between them grew thicker, but Shaterica kept living, unaware of the storm brewing inside her husband. Then, in the early hours of March 30th, 2025, everything came crashing down. Around 4:30 a.m., a frantic 911 call sent police racing to an apartment in the 5900 block of Ronmar Drive in Alexandria, Louisiana. The caller reported a domestic disturbance, but nothing could have prepared the officers for what they found. When police arrived at the apartment, they were met with a scene that would haunt them. Inside, they found 38-year-old Shaterica Johnson, lifeless, killed by a gunshot wound. Next to her was her 42-year-old husband, Tracy Johnson, also dead from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot. The discovery sent shockwaves through Alexandria, Louisiana, as investigators began to unravel the devastating truth behind this tragedy. The couple, once the picture of love and happiness, had met a horrific end in what police are calling a murder-suicide. Authorities are urging anyone with information to call the number shared by the Alexandria Police Department. As detectives dug deeper, a heartbreaking story emerged. Shaterica's vibrant spirit, her love for going out, her bold social media posts, and her growing independence had started to weigh on Tracy. What once drew him to her now sparked jealousy and feelings of inadequacy. Investigators believe that, on that fateful night, the couple got into a heated argument, one fueled by the mounting tensions in their marriage. The fight escalated, reaching a boiling point that pushed Tracy over the edge. The deepest pain fell on Shaterica's two children, Kinsley and her brother, now left without their mother's warmth and love. No child should have to endure such a loss, and the void Shaterica left in their lives is immeasurable. To help ease their burden, the community rallied together, setting up a GoFundMe campaign to support the kids. The funds will cover funeral costs, their immediate needs, and help secure their future care, offering a small lifeline in the wake of this tragedy. The overwhelming response, donations pouring in alongside messages of love, shows just how deeply Shaterica's spirit resonated with those around her. Even in grief, Shaterica's family and friends are determined to keep her memory alive. They talk about her laughter, her dance moves, and the way she could make any moment feel special. Her children, though heartbroken, are surrounded by people who want to honor their mother's legacy by supporting them through this painful journey. Stories of Shaterica's kindness and energy continue to spread, a bittersweet reminder of the light she brought to the world. This tragedy is a gut-wrenching wake-up call about the dangers of domestic conflict. Shaterica's story shows how quickly things can spiral when issues like jealousy and control go unchecked, leading to consequences that ripple far beyond one moment. Her life, so full of joy and promise, was cut short, leaving behind questions that may never be answered and a community forever changed. As her loved ones hold on to her memory,